Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for this chance to contribute. Honorable Speaker, anytime there is a new bill, there must be a problem and there must be a solution you are trying to prescribe. I have read the entire bill, Honorable Speaker, word to word. And I've sat here listening to both the mover and the seconder, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, listening and reading the bill, one of the issues it is highlighting is about infrastructure. And you're talking here about roads, airports, and of course water and electrification or energy. But Honorable Speaker, it is important for us to know that reading the bill, all the things that you are purporting to want to do are already being done by Kenya. And all the other things in terms of revenue raising measures that are being put forward, we also do, except one which I highlight, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, since independence, Kenya is a respected economy. When it comes to roads, Kenya is the number 3 best paved economy in Africa in terms of paved roads. Only second from South Africa and Nigeria, Honorable Speaker. When it comes to energy and electrification, Kenya is actually number 2 in the entire Eastern Central Africa and actually number 1 in Eastern Africa. And therefore, when it comes to infrastructure, Kenya has always done what it needs to do without the need of introducing a new bill or a new entity with very weak oversight. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, what is it that you are trying to cure or prescribe? Honorable Speaker, our economy is solid out of budget. I was sitting here listening to the contributors and especially the mover and the seconder. And we are here telling Kenyans about how Kenya has not been able to do many things because there was no this kind of bill. But Honorable Speaker, all the development, infrastructural development of our country has always been done and done through the budget. And therefore, when we talk about we need this to build roads, I think we are misleading Kenyans. Kenya has always done this. Honorable Speaker, the second point. Everything in this bill is always and has always been done by Kenya, except one thing. That now, Kenya wants to move away from recording our debt in one book of debt. We are now opening another debt book, which we are calling Infrastructure Fund, Honorable Speaker. In the long run, Honorable Speaker, what we are trying to do is not out of the examples that were given. We are trying to do much more like what Ghana did and Senegal did. In fact, Honorable Speaker, the right and correct title of this bill is actually National Illegal Borrowing Fund. Because what we are seeking to do is these fancy words that are being thrown here. One word that I've heard is called crowding in. The second one is called leverage. Honorable Speaker, these are synonyms of borrowing. That we now want to borrow more than we are borrowing. We continue borrowing more in the actual book, but we open a different book, Honorable Speaker, on the side. Honorable Speaker, this is incompetence that we are trying to cover up here, Honorable Speaker. For the work that has not been done for the last 4 years, we want now to create a cover for that incompetence. Honorable Speaker, Kenya is now borrowing 1.25 trillion Kenya shillings a year. We are therefore borrowing 4 billion Kenya shillings every day. The first question should be, because according to PFM Act, we should always borrow for infrastructural development. Where is the 4 billion shillings going to, Honorable Speaker? Honorable Speaker, because I see my time is almost up, let me go to some of the examples that were given. And I was seated here waiting to hear something different from what I have read. What I have heard, Honorable Speaker, is actually, I don't think the mover, especially, understands this bill. Because the example number 1 I had is Future Fund from Australia. The second one is Mubadala from UAE, Honorable Speaker. And the third one is Temasek. Those 3 companies are investment companies, Honorable Speaker. They are not infrastructure funds. And that is why when you go to a company like Mubadala is the number 1 investor, for example. It has invested in companies like Tencent, like Alibaba, and the rest. Honorable Speaker, this is very far. It is the other polar of Mubadala, Temasek, and Future Fund.
You have 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Honorable Speaker, what I'm just trying to say is that the examples we are floating around here is totally misleading. Whereas Mubadala and Future Fund and Temasek of Singapore, their work is to invest and actually get returns for the country. This other fund, what is purporting to do is to raise funds through this parliament, to raise funds through privatization, but not to invest, Honorable Speaker. It is to leverage, crowding, which are actually synonyms of borrowing, Honorable Speaker. Now we want to give somebody a pass and a throughway to borrow 5 trillion Kenya shillings, Honorable Speaker, and determine how it is spent. Our 4 trillion budget is oversighted by this budget, by this parliament. 400 billion Kenya shillings in equitable share is oversighted by the National Assembly, by Senate, by 47 county assemblies, and here we are debating on how to hand over 5 trillion Kenya shillings into an individual, Honorable Speaker. You cannot be patriotic and support this kind of reckless experimentation, Honorable Speaker.
Although I'm not an ex-officio member of this House, this is one more